Hello, epic viewers from around the multiverse. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another riveting, captivating, stellar unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What item will I be unboxing? What item will I be opening? Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to elicit the box. What item is encompassed inside this bulky, hefty, tangible, nifty box? Let's find out. I'm going to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now, so bear with me. It'll only take me billions of picoseconds to extract the items from the box and subsequently flaunt them in front of the camera for you to feast your glorious eyes on. Here we go. The unboxing process is about to commence. The unboxing process is officially underway. Which action figures have I drawn forth? Which action figures have I prompted? Which action figures have I elicited? Let's find out. We have a lot of clone troopers. These figurines are known by the monikers of the Kashyyyk AT-RT driver. So these are the Kashyyyk AT-RT drivers, apparently. At least that's what they're listed as on eBay. I guess they operate the AT-RTs. They maneuver them around the battlefield. I'm making an arbitrary assumption, but that's what I would just extrapolate. Here's the first Kashyyyk AT-RT driver, the first clone trooper. Here's the second clone trooper. Obviously these are variants of the clone trooper. They drive around vehicles. I thought I had some more. Apparently I do. I seem to have at least 6 of these figurines. They're homogeneous to one another. They look akin to one another. They're doppelgangers, carbon copies of one another. Do they look disparate from one another in any facet? No. Fortunately, they're not marred with scratches. They're not marred with scuffs. They don't have any major dings or dents. So they're practically in pristine condition. They're practically unscathed. I have no qualms about this purchase and decision. I love their deco. I love their sculpts. I love their aesthetics. I love their hues. I love their textures. I love their shadings. I love the fact that they have ample points of articulation. They're lacking articulation in their fingers. They're lacking articulation in their toes. They can't perform ankle pivots. It's quite unfortunate. They lack diaphragm joints. They do not. This figurine does not have a diaphragm joint, nor do the other counterpart figurines have a diaphragm joint either. So they're lacking diaphragm joints. Their elbows and knees are not double jointed, which is a real shame and pities a missed opportunity. They lack the ability to swirl their forearms. Actually, I retract my previous statement. They can partially swirl their forearms. They can move their arms inwards and outwards. The joints at their pelvis are relatively sturdy. They're not going to become loose anytime soon, as long as you don't fiddle with them and tamper with them. They truly emulate a clone trooper's appearance. I believe that these clone troopers were featured in Star Wars Episode 3. They assisted the Wookiees amid the Battle of Kashyyyk. So here they are once again. Their guns are strapped to their back. They can wield their armaments at any given time. Are they sadistic? Are they malicious? Are they diabolical? Are they menacing? Who knows? They're supposed to be heroic, valiant, stoic, noble, revered warriors. However, once Order 66 commenced, they betrayed the Jedi and posed a threat to the Jedi Masters, who superseded them in authority at one point. They have peg holes embedded in the bottom of their feet. They're just extraordinary figurines. I love their aesthetics. I love their designs. They look poised for battle. They are poised for battle. So here they are once again. They're just incredible figurines. They stand roughly 3.75 inches tall. They have an antenna protruding out of their helmet. I love their color schemes. I love their color variations. They're comprised of a multitude of colors. They're truly unique. I received 6 of them for under $4 each. You can't really go wrong for under $4 per clone trooper if you're an avid devout Star Wars fan. But that's my objective, humble opinion. Of course, your opinion, your sentiments, your thoughts appertaining to these figurines may be disparate from mine. Perhaps you don't think that they warrant a price of under $4 each. Perhaps you don't think that they're meritorious figurines. Perhaps you wouldn't deem them to be stellar or extraordinary. But I beg to differ. I think that they have merit. I think that they're worthwhile figurines. I think that they are worth a purchase. I unequivocally think that they have value. But you may staunchly disagree, which is fine. So yeah, I looked them up on Amazon, and according to Amazon, just to verify, they're part of the Star Wars Revenge of the there's part of the Star Wars Revenge of the Sith action figure line, which I thought they were a part of initially, but I wasn't 100% sure. And they're considered the AT-RT drivers. So now I possess 6 AT-RT drivers, which are clone troopers, or variants of the clone trooper. I guess they're the pilot clone troopers. They're meant to maneuver and harness AT-RTs. So at least I was able to confirm their role in the Star Wars universe. I love their nitty-gritty details. I love their paint applications. These figurines are just remarkable. And their joints haven't loosened. I don't want to compromise the integrity of their joints, so I'm going to desist from tampering with them too much. They'll just remain sedentary, flaunted on my shelves. Hopefully I'll be able to retain them in the pending years. So, once again, for under $22, I really can't complain. I don't have any major gripes appertaining to this purchase and decision. I have no qualms about relinquishing nearly $22 to obtain these figurines. Here's 5 of them. Here's all 6 of them once again. Here's how they look as a cohort of AT-RT drivers. They're quite remarkable figurines. They're exquisite, they're extraordinary, they're incredible. I love being engrossed in the Star Wars universe. These figurines are stupendous. I would have preferred if they were a bit taller, but it's not too much of an issue. It's not too much of a calamity. Why? Because they scale eminently well with my 4-inch or 3.75-inch Star Wars action figure line. So I'm gratified, I'm content, I'm jubilant, I'm buoyant. I am happy that I was able to procure 6 AT-RT driver figurines for under $4 each. So that's everything I wanted to divulge and notify you of. I hope that you found this video to be enthralling as well as insightful. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Actually, what I wanted to showcase before I finish this video was the stands. here they are. They can be mounted onto the stands. They have pegs protruding out of them, so you can utilize these stands at your own discretion. Just insert their feet into the pegs, and voila, you're able to mount your clone troopers onto these stands. I don't really utilize the stands because they take up extra space. My shelves are not spacious, so I have a finite amount of space, and I need to be meticulous about how I set up my action figures. The good news is I have 6 stands, and I have their corresponding weapons just in case I want to utilize them. Their accessories I typically desist from utilizing. They just take up extra space on the shelves. But if they are equipped, it doesn't take up that much extra space, so I guess I can make do with equipping their accessories in this particular instance. The good news is that I'm not missing any of their accessories, apparently. At least I don't think I am. I seem to have all 6 of their innate default weapons that they originally came bundled with, so here they are. I always prefer to procure my figurines used because they're typically a lower price used than they are new. If you procure them new, you would have paid closer to $7 for them, perhaps closer to $8, but for under $4 you really can't go wrong. So those are my final thoughts that I wanted to convey. I hope that you found this video to be entertaining. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.